Hey, what's going on, everybody? Mr. Debt here. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a follow-up on a previous video I made, and I'm going to be sharing some tips that I think would be helpful that you could use to embrace a minimalist mindset that can hopefully lead to a happier, more fulfilling life for yourself. And if you want to know exactly what those tips are, please stick around. I'm going to be sharing them. But before I share them, I just want to explain a little bit about my story and how I found myself accumulating over $200,000 of debt. And it started when I invested in a real estate course that promised the world and didn't deliver anything close to it. It all started when I was 22 years old. Fast forward 6 years, I'm 28, and I still have the debt, but I'm close to paying it off. And I wanted to create this channel to share my experience with those of you who are struggling with your own situations regarding debt, and hopefully sharing my experiences can help you avoid any mistakes that you're about to make and keep you on track to hitting your own goals, while creating a community that's supportive and that you can find motivation when you just need it most, because the road is always going to be bumpy. It's never going to be a straight, narrow, smooth path. So let's dive into this video. And embracing a minimalist mindset is not just about decluttering your physical space. It's a more transformative shift on how you can approach life. So the tips that I think are really beneficial and that will help you in your own journey is reflecting on your values, decluttering your space, practice mindful consumption, simplify your schedule, cultivate a gratitude and contentment mindset, invest in experiences, and let go of the emotional clutter that you have. Now, when we talk about reflect on your values, this is the first step, is to take a moment and truly understand what matters most in your life. Identify the experiences, the relationships, and the goals that bring you the most joy and fulfillment, and make sure to have some self-reflection on what those are, and that'll help guide you along your lifestyle choices and identify what really matters to you. And how you can declutter your space is by starting to go through your belongings and really ask yourself if each item serves a purpose. And if it doesn't, you need to start letting go of the stuff that doesn't really serve purpose to you, right? If you don't find joy in it, if it's not a necessity, get it out of your life, get it out of your space. And once you create that clutter-free space, it'll not only help you to bring a sense of calmness, but it'll also reduce the stress and increase the clarity that you have in your life today. Now, mindful consumption is another important aspect of having that minimalist life, because before you make any purchase, think to yourself, and I mentioned it in a previous video, really ask yourself if it's something that you need. If it's not something that you need, don't buy it, right? Once you start thinking about the decisions that you're going to make, especially the purchases that you're going to make, and identify whether it's really going to help you or not, that'll make sure that you're not going to clutter your space, and it also helps you to keep track of your spending and staying on goal that you've set out to make. Because a lot of us nowadays, we buy impulsively, and if we just take a night to sleep on it, wake up the next day, chances are you're going to find a solution to what you're going to buy, or you're going to realize that, you know what, I could do without spending that, and you're going to feel better about yourself because you haven't spent that money. So making sure that you practice that mindful consumption, that's a huge help to create that minimalist mindset and lead to that happier life. The next is simplify your schedule. Simplifying your schedule is equally vital because we often find ourselves overwhelmed and committed to obligations that we don't need or that we don't find helpful to us. So take the time to evaluate your own schedule and prioritize the activities that are most valuable to you and that brings you the most joy in your life. Learn to say no to things that don't serve the purpose that you want or that you just don't want to do at the end of the day, and create space for the activities that nurture your mind, body, and soul. Because when you are filling your day with activities and things that you don't want to do, that's just going to drain your energy. It's going to make you more tired, and you're going to have less strength, less energy to do the things that matter the most. You're gonna find yourself spending all your time and energy in things that don't matter, and when it comes time to things that do matter, like friends, family, or just hobbies that you enjoy, you're gonna be tired, and you're not gonna give the people and the activities that are most important to you 100% of your effort, because you're going to be already drained mentally, physically, and emotionally from doing all those activities that you don't want to do in the first place. And learn to cultivate a gratitude and contentment, I'd say attitude. How is that saying? Have a attitude of gratitude. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Let me know if I butchered it or not. But cultivating a attitude of gratitude and contentment is a really key element in creating that minimalist mindset, because instead of constantly chasing material possessions or comparing yourselves to others, learn to appreciate what you have and find the joy in the simple pleasures of life. Because when you do that and when you practice gratitude on a daily basis, that helps you to shift your focus to have that abundance of experiences and relationships that bring true fulfillment to your life, and you start being more positive, right? The energy that you have towards everything changes. You're not so negative, right? Because that's also a big part in getting ourselves out of that hole, getting yourself out of that hole that you find yourself when it comes to debt is, negativity. You start thinking that you're in the situation that you're in for life and it's never going to get better. But as you try to shift your mindset and be happy and be content with what you have right now, that's gonna boost your positive energy, your mental state, and the outlook on life is going to change way more than you think it's gonna do. And then that brings us to invest in experiences, right? When you invest in experiences rather than the material possession of things, rather than getting a car or buying the latest phone, doing anything that's materialistic, it's another powerful way to embrace just what you have, right? Experiences can last a lifetime, and when you are focused on creating those long-lasting experiences, that helps you to deepen your connection with friends, family, people that are most important in your life, and it helps to open your horizon, because they often bring more fulfillment than material possessions and contribute to the personal growth that one has, right? If you just focus on buying that latest gadget or spending money on that object that you're really going for, you're gonna find yourself just going in a never-ending circle, just constantly chasing after the next best thing, and you're never going to be happy with what you have, because you're going to be so focused on, you know what, I'm going to just get this one more thing and then I'm done. But then as soon as that happens, after the shiny object syndrome wears off and it's been a month, a couple months, a year, a couple years after you've had it, there's always that next thing that comes out. There's always that next best thing, and you're always chasing that next best thing over and over again. Where if you were to shift and put that money towards going out with your loved ones, going out with your buddies, booking a trip that you really need, and creating those memories, that's what's gonna help you tenfold. And I could bet you any money that creating those long-lasting memories is going to be a lot better than just buying that one object that spikes your dopamine for that few moments, and then it's just gone. And then that brings us to our last point, which is letting go of that emotional clutter. Now, I know it's not going to be as easy as it seems to go down that path, but when we talk about minimalism, it's not just about decluttering the physical space, like I said earlier on in the video, but it's also freeing yourselves from those negative thoughts, the grudges, and those limiting beliefs that you have on yourselves, and practice the self-care that you need. You know, seek the support whenever you need it. As I said it many times before, that it's okay to not be okay. And you have to understand that seeking help, whether that's within your own support group, if you don't have a support group, reach out to me, reach out to the community that we have, or seek professional help, because there's nothing wrong in that. And when you nurture your mental and emotional well-being, that just helps give you the attention to strengthen your physical and your emotional well-being. Because if you don't get out of that negative mindset and really focus on that positivity in life, and just looking on the brighter side of things, even though you may find yourself in a shitty situation, or you may find yourself in a scenario that you just can't see the light anymore, there is always some kind of a positive. No matter how dark the situation is, it is there. You just have to make sure that you work on saying those positive affirmations. Have that attitude of gratitude and contentment. And when you just take those small steps on a daily, consistent basis, that's what's going to help. It's going to help amount to so much more, you know. So at the end of the day, sorry about that, I just had a call come in. The 7 steps that you really need to focus on to help shift your mindset from where it's at to a minimalist mindset and being content with what you currently have is making sure that you reflect on your values. You declutter your physical space. You practice the mindful consumption. You simplify your schedule. You make sure to cultivate an attitude of gratitude and contentment. Invest in experiences rather than materialistic possessions, and let go of that emotional clutter. Once you start on those, that is a phenomenal way to help shift your mindset from where it's at to where you need it to be. And if you need any help doing that, if you need to talk about how you can get that done, or how I've been trying myself to get on that path, and slowly but surely I find myself going more on the positive side than the negative, feel free to reach out. I'm here. I'll answer any comments that are put in the comment section below. So remember If you've liked this video, if you found it helpful, please like this video. And if you want to join the community, subscribe to the channel. If you know of anyone else who needs to hear this message, please share this to them, because that's another great way of getting it out there and to help grow this community. I look forward to making more content like this. And as always, shoulders back, chin up, and I'll see you on the next one.